Every day, he sat in the same place in the city, on the same sidewalk, with his hand held out. He begged. Nothing more than that. People walked by in a hurry. Some dropped coins without looking. Others changed their path as if he didn't exist. Until one ordinary morning, a well-dressed man stopped in front of him. He held out his hand. Just like every other day. The man didn't give money, didn't show pity. He simply looked at him carefully, and then he asked, "What do you have to offer me in return?" The question caught him off guard. He tried to answer, tried to laugh it off, but felt a knot in his throat. "I'm just a beggar," he finally said. "How could I have anything to offer?" The man nodded gently. "Think about it," and walked away, without giving any money. He stayed there, with an empty hand, and a heavy question in his mind. That day, he received almost no alms, but the discomfort was greater than the hunger. What do I have to offer? Do I really have nothing? Or have I never stopped to think? In the days that followed, he returned to the same spot. He kept begging, but something had changed. He began to observe what was around him: the ground, the wind, the small field beside the sidewalk. That's when he noticed the flowers. Simple, growing on their own, ignored by almost everyone. He took them to his place, set them beside him, not to sell, not to ask for anything in return. He simply placed them there. People began to notice. "Such beautiful flowers," someone said. He didn't respond, but he felt something different. The next day, he brought more, arranged them better, took care of them. He no longer begged. He simply offered flowers. Days later, the same well-dressed man returned. They talked about the city, about the flow of people, about how some things grow even when no one is watching. The businessman listened more than he spoke. The beggar spoke little, but he spoke truthfully. "These flowers," the businessman said, pointing to the small arrangement. "Do you do this every day?" "I started after your question," he replied. It never left my mind. The businessman stayed silent for a few seconds. "Tomorrow," he finally said, "if you want, come to this address." He wrote something on a piece of paper, stood up, and left. This time, with no promises. That night, the beggar barely slept. Not because of anxiety, but because of something new. Possibility. The next day, he didn't sit on the sidewalk. He went to the address. It was a simple warehouse. Nothing luxurious. Nothing that looked like wealth. He started by sweeping the floor, carrying boxes, organizing things. Hard work. Real work. He didn't ask for anything. He did the work. And during breaks, he cared for the flowers. He placed small pots in the corners, organized the space, cleaned with attention. Without realizing it, he was transforming the environment. People noticed. They commented. They asked, "Do you know about flowers?" He thought before answering. I'm learning. With time, he truly learned about the soil, about timing, about consistency. He began planting on a small borrowed piece of land. He made mistakes, lost crops, learned. The flowers began to sell, then the plants, then the seeds. What started as an answer to a question became work, became income, became a business. He no longer begged. He produced. Years later, with the business running, he met the businessman again. Now, face to face, standing, equal to equal. That question, he said, it changed everything. The businessman smiled. I didn't give you money, he replied. I only made you think. And that's what made me act, he said. One question changed his life. What is the question you need to ask yourself today?